I almost got arrested 2 days ago at the Federal Reserve for standing outside on the sidewalk.
We're talking about the Constitution.
Of course, I know exactly what the dollar is going to do, but I'm not at liberty to.
You're not going to tell me this. And those people who have been yelling, oh, the UN's going to take over global
conspiracy theorists.
They've been crazy, but now they're right.
Program note for you. This Tuesday, we're having Tim Carney on. He wrote this book, Obamonomics. Let me read to you the subtitle, How Barack Obama is Bankrupting You and Enriching His Wall Street Friends, Corporate Lobbyists, and Union Bosses. Tim Carney has done a terrific job at supplying the facts of the case against Barack Obama, and make no doubt about it, Bush did the same thing. So this is not a peg on Obama, but this book is specifically about Obama, and he's going to be on Tuesday. And then remember that video we had about Haiti and the earthquake, and did the U.S. government do it? Well, check this out. Dr. Nick Begich is the leading opposition party, if you will, against HAARP, and Dr. Nick Begich is going to be on our show Thursday. This guy is a scientist. And he says, look, I'm going to give you the facts on what HAARP can and can't do. And he said to me that, yes, they can cause and have caused earthquakes in the past. He is going to be on our show Thursday. So Tim Carney, Tuesday, and Dr. Nick Begich, Thursday. Okay, now here for our story for today. Check this is going to make you literally almost fall over and want to rip through the screen or the videos or the TV, however you're watching this. It's going to make you run or jump through and go, are you kidding me? It's just going to make you feel that way. Barack Obama on January 11th, no different from Bush. Bush did the same thing, same types of things. Barack Obama on January 11th made an executive order. Didn't seek the approval of the Congress, didn't seek the approval of the American people, just did it and said it and signed it, and it's done. And what it was a Council of Governors, which is a union for military homeland defense, as it's said. Now, we know that Barack Obama has ulterior motives. What are they? Here, look at this clip. Hear it from his own mouth.
We cannot continue to rely only on our military in order to achieve the national security objectives that we've set. We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well funded.
We know that Barack Obama wants a national civilian security workforce that's just as powerful. That's the key point there. Just as strong, just as well funded. Those are the key points. As the military, so we know Rahm Emanuel said the same thing. He wrote a book about it. You have two guys very high up in the government, one being the president, wanting a civilian security workforce. Now you have this Council of Governors that is said to be a, quote, union, a cooperation level, if you will, between state and federal law enforcement officials and state and federal governments to help with the military in these local arenas. Look at this story now that has come out regarding the Council of Governors and the appointees to the Council of Governors. Look at this. Obama's new pick to this Council of Governors is the governor of a state that linked Christians to violence. President Obama has picked to advise him on military actions inside the U.S. the Missouri governor, whose State Information Analysis Center last year linked the conservative organization to domestic terrorism and said law enforcement officers should watch for suspicious individuals who may have bumper stickers from Ron Paul and Chuck Baldwin. Now, wait a minute. Do you remember this MIAC report that came out? It said if you're, a Ron Paul supporter or whatever, you could be a terrorist. Do you remember that report? Well, Barack Obama has said the same governor who issued that report now is one of his right-hand men, his trusted advisors in advising him on military in the local state level. Let me read on to this article. They are among Obama's nominations for the 10 positions on Obama's new Council of Governors that he will use to advise on military activities in the United States. Drop down a little bit. It was in 2009 when the MIAC issued a report that not only link conservative groups to domestic terrorism and warned law enforcement officials to watch for vehicles with bumper stickers promoting Paul and Baldwin, but it also warned police to watch out for individuals with radical ideologies based on Christian views, such as opposing illegal immigration, abortion, and federal taxes. Now, this is the interesting thing. The DHS, Department of Homeland Security, right after this MIAC report, released an assessment sheet, and they said that if you are believing in Bible prophecy, if you think there's going to be a new world order, if you are anti-one world government, if you stockpile food, if you're anti-abortion, if you're anti-immigration, you don't want a North American Union, you're against spp.gov. That's one of our websites, government websites, spp.gov. If you're against all these things, then you are linked in with Al-Qaeda and the terrorists of Timothy McVeigh. I mean, they link you in with that just because you stockpile food and you believe in the Bible? Let me read on here. Police were instructed for Americans who were concerned about unemployment taxes, illegal immigration, gangs. When does it become a crime to care about gangs? I mean, this is border security, abortion, high costs of living, gun restrictions, FEMA, the IRS, the Federal Reserve, and the Fed movement. The North American Union, SPP, .gov, North American Community. The Missouri documents also said potential domestic terrorists might like gun shows, shortwave radios, combat movies, movies with white male heroes, Tom Clancy novels, and presidential candidates Ron Paul, Bob Barr, and Chuck Baldwin. Now, this is the thing that makes it interesting. You and I are basically those things. We're for freedom. You're for the First Amendment. You can do whatever you want. I am advocating for all the amendments. I am a pro-constitutionalist. That's what you and I are. And so you're talking about a government cooperating, a local government, state government, cooperating with a federal government that has the same mentality. You know what they're doing? They're setting up the infrastructure for martial law. They're setting up the infrastructure for complete tyranny, for complete control of you and I by a governmental agency, Department of Homeland Security, and the President of the United States. Let me read on a little bit here. Here we have the Department of Homeland Security, of course. Like I mentioned, the report was titled Right-Wing Extremism, and really, right-wing extremism had to do with, quote, believing in the Bible and stockpiling food. Is your cupboard full? You're considered stockpiling food. I mean, did you go to Costco this weekend? Did you buy a bunch of stuff? Well, you could be considered a right-wing extremist because you stockpile food. I'm telling you, this stuff is crazy. Now, let me read to you the governors that have been appointed, and I'm going to do this for a purpose, and I'll explain afterwards. Governor James H. Douglas of Vermont, Chris Gregory of Washington, Janice Brewer of Arizona. She's the girl who took over for Napolitano when Napolitano was placed Homeland Security Secretary. Luis Fortuno of Puerto Rico. Well, why do we need a Council of Governors out of Puerto Rico? I don't understand why we would need that. Brad Henry of Oklahoma, Robert McDonnell of Virginia, Jeremy Nixon of Missouri, this is who we're talking about today, Martin O'Malley of Maryland, Beverly Evis Perdue of North Carolina, Michael Rounds of South Dakota. Okay, this is the thing. I don't know all these people. I don't know all these people. I don't live in these states. And as of tape today, I have not done the investigation on these people because I wanted to get this information out to you. Now, what I want you to do is take this information of who these governors are in these states. If you live in these states, I want you to research these people and find out, are they Masons? Are they Bilderberg people? Are they CFR people? Are they trilateral people? What do they, have unions with banks in their state? I mean, what is the background on these people? First of all, I do not believe there should be any council of governors at all. It's setting up an infrastructure for martial law, and it creates a unequal union between state and federal governments. Also, find out what these people are up to. Get back to me and I'll do another video on it so we can get this information out. Power is knowledge. Understand, you are not to be afraid in this whole thing. Fear is not of God. Fear is of the devil. Why? Because God has come to overcome the world. Greater is He that is in you than he that is in the world. Don't be afraid. Be strong. Know that everything works together for the good of those who love God and are called according to His purposes.